In 2012, RPG Maker horror games like Ebe, Mad Father, and Ao Oni blew up in popularity. Some of this can definitely be attributed to Let's Play YouTubers back then, or the internet's obsession with creepypasta around this time, but these games had a culture and a cult fan base of their own. Some classics from this time period can be easily identified by this early internet aesthetic, with a lot of the in-game character art having this DeviantArt adjacent emo anime kind of style. There were games that laid the groundwork early on, like Yume Nikki in 2005 or Ao Oni in 2008, but so many classics came out right around 2012, like The Crooked Man, The Witch's House, Paranoiac, Misao, and Ebe, that I believe this was the golden age of RPG Maker horror games, like the Renaissance period. In this series, I'm going to take a look at the best and most beloved games that come out of this time period and see why they worked so well, starting with Ebe. In Ebe, you play as Ebe, a girl whose parents take her to an art gallery where an artist named Guertena is being showed. As you explore the gallery and talk to people, you find out Guertena rarely ever painted real people. That would be kind of important later. Ebe can look at all the artwork and read about it, but there are several words she doesn't know. She is just a 9-year-old girl after all. You find a large painting, bigger than all the others, named the World. As you examine the artwork, the lights flicker, and the entire gallery suddenly feels very empty. So empty, in fact, that it would actually be a little unnerving if there was anyone else in here with you. Dude. Oh. You see, the question marks in the title of the painting may not just be Ebe's reading level getting in the way. Ebe has found herself in this uncanny version of the art gallery, and there are things about this world that are just unknown. I think these question marks, as they show up throughout the game, are used to great effect. It adds some mystery as we read the things we find, but also fear. You don't have all the information you need to navigate this new and strange world, especially as someone so young. You can hear footsteps in parts of the gallery, and the paintings you've been looking at start to take on a new life. Oh. A message scrawled in red paint, or maybe blood, beckons Ebe to come down below. As we explore the gallery, we see a section of the barrier protecting a large painting on the floor named Abyss of the Deep has opened. Ebe takes the plunge, and we enter the blue area. Oh, this is weird. We walk down a hallway to find a red rose, and after pushing the table we found it on a side, we find a key, along with a note reading, "When the rose blanks, so too will you blank." When we leave the room, we read another note saying that Ebe and the rose are blank, and that we must know the weight life carries. The rose is your life, with 5 petals representing the hits Ebe can take before the game over screen. You can find vases with water to revive your flower to full health throughout the game. We use the key we found on a locked door and enter the next area of the game. After some exploring, you come to a room with a green key and a headless statue. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. See ya. Later. Have a good one. And upon unlocking the green door, we find a hallway with a series of paintings depicting a guillotine raising its blade. Okay. Yeah, I should have seen that one coming. If you can move faster than the guillotine, you'll find yourself in the red area, much more closely resembling the art gallery that we came from. I examined all the paintings until I came to this, a lady in red. My fucking goodness. We quickly run into another room, full of bookshelves, where we read about the girls in the canvas. They'll chase down any humans they see, forever. But if they have one weakness, it's that they can't open doors on their own. You learn a lot from random books in areas like this, like a piece of text talking about how it's believed an artist embeds part of a spirit in an artwork after intense creative energy. And you start to get an understanding of all the statues and paintings that come to life in this world. Wherever we are, we're here with the spirits, the creations of the artist Guertena. So with no way to go but forward through a locked door, We find the key in the weirdest way, I think, in this whole game. In a children's storybook. For a girl's birthday, her friends bake her a cake with a coin in it to eat for good luck. But when her mother can't find the key to a door, finding the coin she was supposed to eat in its place, she cuts herself open to unlock the door. Beyond the door, you'll find a man unconscious on the floor, holding a key. This key will open a room with a living painting of a woman in blue, mirroring the woman in red. Similarly, she seems to be eating a blue flower, much like your own red rose. If she attacks you, you can safely leave this room, as we know they can't open doors. Window. Oh! Escaping the woman in blue and returning to this room will get you the blue rose, which we take to the vase of water that we heal our own rose with to bring it back to life. And returning to the unconscious man, he'll wake up finding all his wounds are gone. This is Garry, another visitor of the art gallery that ended up in this place too. His blue rose is also tied to his life, just like ours. He joins our party and becomes our friend for the rest of the game. He's helpful too. Being a grown adult, he can push things that Eve can't. Oh wow. Strongman Garry. We enter a room with two hand statues, called the Grieving Bride's Hands, and a painting of a grieving bride and groom. This is the gray area, and at the end of it we find a hungry painting, asking for a flower. Obviously we can't give him Eve or Garry's flower, so we'll have to find one somewhere else. After a series of puzzles, locked doors, a maze patrolled by headless statues, and blind luck interacting with everything possible, we find a silver ring for the bride. Upon putting it on her finger, the bride and groom can be married, and she throws us a bouquet of flowers, which we exchange with the painting for passage to the next section of the gray area. We follow a long and creepy hallway lined with statue heads and paintings that watch us as we walk, and find through the next door a large area covered in paintings like the woman in red and the headless statues from before, but most of them remain dormant for now. In a room with a mirror, a statue head will sneak up behind you on its own. More of the art starts to come alive when you find a gray key on the ground. Let's say, oh my god. Oh, yeah. Which we promptly use looking for an escape, only to find a room with a painting of Eve's parents, which has some very weird implications when you remember how Guertena never painted real people and how he brings his creations to life. But there's not much time to think about it, because we find we're locked in this room, and there's a banging at the door. Oh my god. The women in the painting smash through the wall, and running out from where they come in, you can now see the whole room has come to life. We run through an open door to a hallway similar to the one we came in, where Eve collapses from exhaustion, and has a short nightmare about all the terrible things chasing her. She wakes up to find Garry's taken her to hide out in a room along the way. After resting for a bit, we head down a flight of stairs to the purple area. After walking up to a painting and examining it, the lights go out. When we can see again, the walls have been covered in something that looks like a child's writing in crayon, begging help and stop. Outside, we follow footsteps to a door in what may be the red paint that was used to write on the walls. On the other side, we find a small blonde girl who is startled to see us. Garry asks if she's a visitor to the gallery that got lost here too, and before she has a chance to respond, he enthusiastically welcomes her to join us as we try to escape. I don't trust her. What's your name? Mary. Mary says she has a yellow rose like Eve and Garry, so she seems to be in the same boat as us, for now. We go into a room filled with pink bunnies. Garry strangely finds this room to be very unsettling, even though Mary and Eve think they're cute. We read a book from the shelf that says if your mind suffers too much, you will soon start to hallucinate, and in the end, it will break apart. And more worrying yet is that you will not even be able to recognize that fact. Remember this for later. The three hear a sound coming from a painting, and a rose with thorny vines grows out from it, tearing through the floor and separating Garry from Eve and Mary. With no other choice, we leave him behind to look for a way to cut the vines, or something. Eve and Mary explore this new brown area for a while, until mentioning how they left Garry behind, at which point we play from his perspective. Tired of waiting around, Garry tries exploring his side of the vines again, and we see what had him so freaked out in that room earlier. Whoa. Okay, this got interesting. Because you remember what this said. The book about the mind breaking apart couldn't be more true. Garry is seeing this room completely differently than Eve and Mary, and he doesn't even know. Instead of bunnies, he sees a room full of disturbing dolls. Dolls that start to follow and haunt him as he explores a library room. Garry picks up a book about Guertana's works, and reads a page about a very particular painting. Mary, the last work of Guertana's life. While the girl appears almost lifelike, naturally, she's not based on a real person. I fucking told you. The blonde girl is revealed to be another one of the artist's creations. And when we cut back to the two girls, Mary seems to be short-circuiting. Mary? Mary. I'm Mary. She starts laughing erratically, and later is found stabbing a statue head after running off. We cut back to Garry. Upon trying to leave the doll room, or the bunny room depending on how you look at it, he finds himself locked in. The energy in the room changes instantly, and panic sets in, as a giant doll starts to crawl through the frame of the painting. We're left to frantically search for a key among the dolls, ripping them open, but I didn't find a key in time. The screen turns red, and we return to Eve's perspective. I think I killed Garry. After more puzzles and locked doors, Eve and Mary find their way back to Garry, where they hear him talking to himself from outside the door, and find him in an incoherent state. Eve snaps him out of it with a good smack, but he can't quite remember what just happened, despite feeling like he had something important to tell Eve. As the three press on, Mary drops her yellow rose. When Garry tries to pick it up for her, she goes ballistic and tries to stab him. With no other option, he pushes her down and knocks her unconscious. Garry remembers everything now, and tells Eve that Mary isn't human. She's just like those women in the paintings that have been trying to kill the two of them all this time. Leaving her behind, we enter the final area of the game, and as Garry notes, it's a significant change of atmosphere. The whole world is made in this crayon sketchbook style. The environment, the items, the enemies are all drawn by a child. While searching some of the houses in this town, Mary creeps in looking for us, but doesn't find us yet. We read there's a key in a toy box, but when we look inside, it's so big we can't see the bottom. Garry wonders if there's even really a key in there. Wanna see? Mary snuck up behind us, pushing us into the deep toy box with a thud. When we wake up, we've lost Garry and our rose. Looking around the toy box, we see every enemy in the game. The dolls, the statue heads, the headless statues. These are all Mary's playthings. This is her world. We find Garry and find the key, but someone else found our rose. Mary can kill us right here and now. She says she'll give back Eve's flower in exchange for Garry's. Garry knows what this means for him and accepts the responsibility. They make the trade, and Mary leaves. The room comes alive with enemies everywhere, and when you escape to the next room, you find blue flower petals on the floor. Loves me not. Garry drops to the floor, as Mary has literally plucked the last bit of his life away. We use his lighter to burn away the yellow rose bushes in the way of a door, where Mary bursts in, enraged that you found a way in this room. She chases you to the end of the hall with a knife, where you find the painting, Mary. I lit it on fire with Garry's lighter, and she turns to ash. We use the key to unlock the pink house, and go down a flight of stairs where we enter a pitch-black version of the art gallery we came in so long ago. We find another large painting like the one that brought us here, but it's not the same. In the beginning, it depicted bright, vivid colors and creation, almost resembling the sketchbook world we just left. This one depicts the exhibits we saw with our mom and dad, and guests walking around the gallery. We can't be certain if the two paintings have the same name because of the question marks, and we can't be sure if this painting reflects the real world or the fake world. We're told all our time here will be lost, but we get ready to jump in anyway when we hear a voice. Ebe. Garry! Garry is back, and he tells us he thinks he's found an exit to this place, but I'm cautious of him. Wasn't he dead back in the toy chest? I decided to jump through the painting anyway, as he rushes to try and grab us. We find ourselves on the other side, staring back at the scenery of the world we just came from. We can't remember what we were just doing. But we can find a familiar painting. Its name is Forgotten Portrait, and it depicts a man sleeping. A voice calls out for us. Our mother finds us in the gallery and tells us to come along, so we can look around together as a family. Ebe takes one last look at the painting before following her mother. Garry. Ebe, hurry up! I got the ending, Forgotten Portrait. And that was Ebe. There's multiple different endings you can get, and some are good and some are bad. I got one of the worst ones, but that was my experience in the game, and I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely did. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Please leave me a comment about which RPGMaker game I should play next. If you enjoyed this video, you can check out this one right here, and I hope you have a good night. See you next time.